Greetings, YouTube. It's your favorite DM Fish Suit here, live on Twitch with our session 11, episode 11 of our Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign. If you're digging these sessions, please drop the subscription on YouTube. Come on over to Twitch. Drop the follow on here. If you come during the session, I'll even say your name. You'll be like, Fish has said my name. I'm famous now. Um, we last left our heroes were a very reluctant Cleo. Made friends with with a Schwinga, and is I think that the rest of the party might think that they're married now, but anyway, without further ado, let's get started with a little D&D. All right. So, did everybody get Cleo a wedding? And I think you named him Clyde. Did everybody get Cleo and Clyde a wedding gift?
Yes.
In love.
Yes.
Hi guys, how's everybody doing?
Oh, good.
Sunflower, I told the story to a coworker about your PTSD reluctance to go into the clearing with the Schwingas, fearing that I was going to spring some kind of trap and kill you. I feel like, have I been that cruel of a DM? You're like, no, I swear to God, these cute little creatures are going to stab me 1,000 times. I'm going to be murdered.
Yeah, they're gonna be psycho. I'm just waiting.
Oh, you broke up. Did anybody else? Did you break up for anybody else?
Cutting in and out.
Oh. Huh, hold on.
You're good now. You're good now.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
better. I think you might have just
My
been...
microphone was turned around.
I was like...
Stupid.
Okay, well, I think that we ended with Clyde. You named him Clyde, right? I'm getting that right?
Yes.
All right, so Clyde climbed up, was like up and just chilling on your shoulder. And as I said in the last session, these Schwingas are like, they like kind of gesture with their little hands, and they like make little kind of squeaking noises, but it's not any language that anybody here can either understand or like, it's not really a language that you can comprehend. But Clyde up on your shoulder, Cleo, he kind of like moves closer to your ear, and he starts to like kind of gesture, and you can kind of see him out of the corner of your eye, and he's just like squeaking, and the squeaking's his like little chittering squeaking is like pretty loud, and you don't really understand what he is saying or what the point he's trying to get across, but you do feel like this, like he's bestowing upon you some power. And
Some
so
kind of power.
yes. And so, and it's just like I said, it'd be hard to describe, but you can feel now, and you just have an understanding that he has bestowed you one of his supernatural charms. He has basically given you a gift.
Aww.
And this gift is called the Charm of the Traveler's Haven. And so, Sunflower, Cleo, you have a new ability that you'll have to keep track of on your character sheet in some way. Because you now can, at will, as an action, cast... you have 3 charges of this charm. As an action, you can expend one of the charm's charges to cast Leomund's Tiny Hut spell, which is pretty badass. I'm going to post a link here in chat so that everybody can see it. And I'll send it to you also on Discord. I'll put it in our main Discord so you guys can all see it. And once I do that, I will read it.
It says page not.
Try the Discord one. It did something funky in Twitch chat. You'd have to copy and paste the whole thing. But in any case, Leomund's Tiny Hut, a 10-foot radius, immobile dome of force springs into existence around and above you and remains stationary for the duration. The spell ends if you leave its area. 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can fit inside the dome with you. The spell fails if the area includes a larger creature or more than 9 creatures. Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast the spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry, regardless of the weather outside. Until the spell ends, you can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark. The dome is opaque from the outside of any color you choose, but is transparent from the inside.
Ooh.
So now I think maybe you feel a little bit less wary of Clyde. What's going on, Tagala? Nice to see you, dude. So keep track of that. You have 3 charges. Once you use all the charges, you can, you don't have that ability again. I think that might be a later level bard spell. So you just basically unlocked a very late level bard spell that you can use 3 times at will as an action, whenever you like.
Ooh, okay. I give him a little kiss and then I play him a little song on my pipes.
Do you have a song prepared?
No, it's just I just play a bunch of pretty notes in a row.
And
Little scale.
he was just like really excited, and he's just like chilling with you, and you got a little buddy up on your shoulder now.
Can I ask him if he wants to come with us?
So yeah, what do you say? Just like, are you in for the ride here, friend? Or
Yeah. All right. So what do you say? You coming with us, or are you gonna stay with your family?
and he just kind of sits down on your shoulder and like grabs onto your shirt and is like ready to go.
All right. So I guess we would have to protect him at all costs if he came with us. If something happened to him, I'd be so sad.
Suddenly, an
What do you
arrow
guys-
whistles through the forest.
I turned to
It's Clyde
everybody
squarely in the
else and-
chest.
Oh no. I turned to everybody else and asked what you guys think I should do. Sorry, one of my monitors turned off, so I'm also trying to fix that. Well, I'm just having a day today.
Is the touring? It was Clyde. Nibbling
know,
on the
right?
wires.
yeah, he's chewing through the wires.
There we go. Okay. So what do you guys think? Should I bring him with? Do you think he'll die?
Well, I mean, it was part of something that we were tasked with, right?
You want to give him to other people, though? We're married now.
I don't think you're married.
What are they going to do with him, though? Do you remember?
So Danica?
She made it very clear that she didn't want to hurt them.
Yeah.
Because she didn't want us to hurt them at all when capturing them.
Well, what if she wanted us to not hurt him so she could hurt
We can request to be there when she does the research. Let her know that she's bonded with you. It's bonded with you.
I turned to Clyde and I asked him if he's willing to do research for a friend.
If you what?
If he's willing to do research for a friend, like if he's willing to do this quest.
He just like kind of gestures at you with his little hands and is like like squeaking and chittering. You can't understand anything he's saying.
I think that's a yes.
But did he seem happy about it?
He kind of always seems happy. Like he just seems like a very peaceful, pleasant creature.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll bring him. I guess we'll bring him with us to go bring him to the person.
Nice.
Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it'd be.
Can we ask them to maybe not harass the lady in the house?
She's fine.
I mean, they have been taking her stuff.
She was so cranky though.
Wouldn't you be if so these little things were coming in and taking all your stuff?
I want to go in and take all her stuff.
All right, maybe you're the wrong person to ask.
Can I? Are they still? Are the other two still around the plate trying to eat the pine cone?
No, as you'll recall, the other two like ran off into the forest. Only Clyde remained behind because he was so enamored with Cleo.
Well, maybe they've left, and maybe they won't be bothering the lady anymore. We can at least tell her that we captured the guy, the little one, and She doesn't need to know, right?
Nah, we'll never
As far
ever
as-
see her again.
As far as we know, they might not come back.
I mean, it's not like we're lying.
There's the best we can do.
So something to keep in mind too, Jordy, is the lantern that you have while Clyde's nearby is always going to be glowing with like a bright intensity. So you basically have while Clyde's around, this is almost like a free light source, a free torch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But keep in mind that that's also gonna, if it's also going to be a beacon for enemies as well, because people will be able to see that. So if you'll have to think about whether you want to cover it up or where you have it out, that's going to be important while Clyde's with you because it's going to be constantly on.
Just hide it behind your beard. You do have a really nice beard.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I tried my best. It's very hard to upkeep in the blizzard and whatnot.
You know, I did have some oils that could have helped with that.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, fresh out though.
Aw, shucks.
Didn't you cover everybody? Didn't Sunflower cover Jordy
me
and then
or-
herself? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you guys like to do?
I say we go back to the old lady's house and tell her we took care of the problem. See if we can get some kind of reward. I mean, it wouldn't hurt, right?
Like
Whether we
Slade?
get a reward or not, doesn't hurt to.
Like Sunflower's like, and then reward? Yes. On board.
Cleo hears reward and is, yeah, of course. Sure, I guess we can go back now.
Kindar, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we should go check on the old lady and let her know that. Okay, everything should be okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
So you head
So,
back, and I think you only track these dudes into the woods for like 30 minutes or so. So it's pretty easy to follow your tracks back to the cabin. And as her little cabin, remember this cabin's like not in the town; it's sort of by itself. It's just outside of Goodmead, not too far outside of Goodmead. And you can see that there's a light on inside, or there's a fire burning inside. Just go up and knock on the door.
Yeah.
And she is still pretty cranky, but she invites you all in. Did you take care of the problem? Did you get those evil little spirits? And then she sees one up on Sunflower's shoulder, and she like starts to grab her broom, like she's gonna
I said,
smack it.
No.
Ma'am, stop. Stop. We've taken care of the issue. This one is coming with us.
What about the other two? What about the other ones? Did you kill them?
They're taken care of. You shouldn't be troubled by them anymore.
Oh, good. I'll catch my death at keep opening the windows up.
You know, one easy way to fix that is to put locks on the windows.
Locks? What's that?
Latches.
Never heard of them.
I'm not surprised.
I shake my head. Oh.
I'm just like clinging like onto Clyde, like making sure she doesn't do anything to him.
Yeah, he's like,
Go ahead.
kind of squeaking, like a scared.
So have you heard anything about these wolves terrorizing Dugan's Hole?
Yeah, have I? Big as a horse they are. Big as a horse. And they got a mighty vocabulary, too.
They probably know where the lock is, too.
Lock? I'm sorry.
Vocabulary. Have you talked to them yourselves?
No, but the few townspeople come through, I mean, they have to pass by here. Everybody coming from Dugan's Hole pretty much has to go through Goodmead.
And what kind of things have you heard these wolves have said?
Just that they have a silver tongue. They have silver tongues. They also the last person who came through was on his way to Bryn Shander. He said that caught a couple of kids, a little girl and her brother, about 6-7 days ago, maybe.
Caught them. Do you know what they did with them?
No idea. There was several kids playing outside of town. Again, this is all secondhand. Several kids playing outside of town, and the wolves took the two of them, ran off. These are no ordinary wolves. I mean, these things are huge.
Is there anyone in Dugan's Hole that we should speak to about these? That would know a bit more.
Can always talk to the speaker, but I imagine everybody in town knows about these wolves. I mean, the whole town is basically locked down. I mean, hardly anybody's getting out.
Sounds like we
The
should.
speaker's name is Edgra Dermot. She, if anybody's going to have any information, it's going to be her, but I'm telling you, pretty much everybody in town knows about this siege.
Sounds good. I'll look to everybody else. Anything else you want to know before we head in?
So what are we going to get for helping with this Chewinga problem?
Give me a perception check, Cleo. The first roll of the day. It's probably still a... Oh, no, okay, I was going to say, there's probably still a Phandelver roll up there, because usually when we start Phandelver, there's a Frostmaiden roll. But Jackson did a test roll. A 9. You can just like look around her cabin, Cleo, and see very plainly that this woman has absolutely nothing to give you. But she is like, I can provide you with a warm meal. I've had soup on. It's just about ready. You can see like a cauldron over the fireplace. It's the best I can offer you as a warm meal before you head off into the night.
This lady's food.
Say that again.
Said I don't know if I trust this lady's food.
It's like brown and bubbling. Yeah, I got some of this wood soup.
Just like Mom used to make. Crunchy.
Plus, didn't you have some of that acorn or that pine cone? I'm sure you're full from that.
I'm stuffed. I had half a pine cone. I'm absolutely stuffed.
Well, I guess we shouldn't linger. We should make our way into Dugan's Hole.
And that's where we have to this little guy, right?
No.
Where do we have to go then?
She's back at Brimshander. Grey Steel. Danica Grey Steel, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where we found her before when we first got back from almost freezing to death. And got back to Brimshander and talked to Danica.
And right now we're in...
You're between Goodmead and Dugan's Hole.
All right. Okay.
I would say right
Dugan's
now you're
Hate.
about right. Yeah.
Well, I guess Clyde's hanging out for a while.
Seems happy enough.
Seems pretty chill.
He's smoking
Alright.
a joint.
What's that smell?
Halfling leaf.
So don't worry about it. He's like, don't worry about it, brother. Oh, I gotta say, Jackson, during Fandelver, that was so funny. I'm giving birth, brother. God, if you have no idea what we're talking about, go watch like session 17 of Fandelver. It's so funny. Okay, so off to Dugan's Hole then. Are you gonna stay and have dinner? Does anybody take this old lady up on her wood soup dinner?
No.
Okay.
I feel like Jordy would be like, she probably doesn't have a lot of food, so doesn't want to take anything that he doesn't really need.
Okay. Okay, so back out into the cold, dark. It is still fairly. Actually, I would say it's probably like early afternoon-ish. So you can make it to Dugan's Hole before the end of the day. Again, you're on the path leading from Goodmead to Dugan's Hole, and you are bordering the lake here, Red Waters. It's pretty frozen over. Normally, Jordy, you would know, normally, under not this eternal winter circumstances, that there would be tons of boats out here on Red Waters. And also something that you would know is that Red Waters is the sort of least fruitful lake for knucklehead trout, because of it's only fed by that one inlet from Lac Dinishir, and so the trout would have to go all the way through Lac Dinishir to get to Red Water. So it's part of the reason that the town of Goodmead like went away from the fishing trade, is because the catch on this lake is pretty poor, and so it's probably even worse now because the lake's frozen over and it's hard to get the boats out. As you begin to approach the town, Watson, everybody give me a perception check, please. That dye color shows up so good, Jackson. That crimson red looks so good.
Figure it'd be best. Figure it's like George's hair. A little darker red probably. I don't think anyone has like straight crimson hair.
All right. Only Jordy. Jordy, off in the distance, you see a, let's face it, somewhat ominous, large figure moving towards you. It seems to be moving kind of oddly. And I'll leave it at that.
I assume Jordy's like up in front, probably like with the lantern.
Yeah,
So he probably just
we
like
can talk about marching. What is the marching order?
normally Jordy's in front, as I assume Jordy's in front.
Yeah.
I'd probably be after Jordy.
And I'll be behind you.
Yep. Kindar in the back.
Kindar in the butt.
Did you say in the butt?
And Kindar in the butt. Okay, good. We got it.
Back. It was like bit ack. There was like one of those apostrophes between the B and the ack.
It's Kindar slang.
Well, Kintar's well educated.
Anyway. All right. Anyway. So Jordy, you see this figure. It's probably 200 to 300 yards away from you.
I would think Jordy would kind of like stop, like put both his arms out, stop. Boy, there's something large out in the distance. I think it's moving towards our direction. Could be one of those big old wolves.
Cover up Clyde.
I'm absolutely gonna have GH do a commission of Clyde sitting up on Cleo's shoulder, by the way.
You know that I was telling Zune that for a session today that I wish I had an image that.
Oh, it's gonna happen. Yeah, I'll ask her to do it.
I love that.
So you stop the party. Everybody comes to a halt. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Gusto
so
just
everyone
keeps
can
walking.
see so everyone can look and try to see what Jordy was seeing and try to point off into the distance where it was.
And with the benefit of him pointing to it now, you guys can all see this figure moving towards you.
As subtly as possible, I'd like to bring out my mace and kind of hide it behind me a little bit so that it's not so obvious.
Okay. So you're just kind of getting ready. It's now about 200 yards away. Jordy, in the front, you can see it is a wolf, larger than any you've ever seen.
Jordy pulls out his maul, not inconspicuously, and kind of sets the lantern on the ground, so there's still a source of light. Since the wolf already sees him, the wolf could probably see him without the lantern, though. I assume.
Yeah, probably so. Savage Queen, thanks so much for the host. Something's weird with the alerts, though. What's going on? Let's see if that does the trick. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Since kind of Jordy notices that the wolf already sees him, you'll probably try to shout out to it, see if it's a speaking one. It's like, "Oi, are you one of them talking wolves we've been hearing about?"
So now the wolf is within 100 yards of you. And you can see that the reason that first of all, it's the largest wolf you've ever seen. Saying it's as big as a horse was no exaggeration. It, no pun intended, it dwarfs you. It's really humongous. And the reason it was moving oddly is that it's limping. It's pretty obviously limping on one of its back legs, and it's whimpering also like a pitiful dog. Have you guys seen Princess Mononoke?
No.
Yes.
Jackson?
Sounds familiar.
It's an anime, and actually does have huge talking wolves in it. And the way that this wolf talks, I want to say, is similar to that, where the wolf talks, but its mouth doesn't move. Vlora knows exactly what I'm talking about. It just it says the words, but its mouth is not moving. And so the wolf says, "Yes, I am one of the wolves. My name is Corin." And Corin pulls up, stop to you in front of the party. Let's go take a look at the old map.
Maybe he needs help. Cast wounds on him.
Maybe it's lying.
I back up a little bit.
Would I know anything about wolf pack tactics?
What specifically?
If there's maybe this is a decoy for them to surround us.
Why don't you give me an insight check?
And noted Corin as big ass wolf.
That's a 21 on insight.
Damn, son. Okay, so you notice as the wolf gets closer to you that it's forgetting which leg is injured and is then limping on the other leg, and you can sort of see through that this is some sort of a ruse.
I cast.
As soon as I see that, I'd shout out to the party, "It's a trick. They're probably going to surround us."
Jordy shouts back at his, "Oi, you bastard, stay back. I've killed 2 verbeegs and a cave bear. Now I'll kill again."
So as you say that, Jordy, you see another wolf that was sort of obscured off to the side begin to come out. And this wolf is very much like, has a aggressive posture. And this wolf is like, you won't trick these people, Corin. But you must come back and defeat our master.
Your master? Who's your master?
Our master is a frost giant named Garangai. He's the one who is having us lay the siege on Dugan's Hole. He's the one who's captured the children. We can show you where his lair is if you go in and you kill him.
How do we know this isn't a trap?
I guess you don't.
And if we do?
If you do what?
Will you become our wolves?
What do you wish us to do?
Be friends.
I'm sure that we could use transport. And having 2 giant wolves would be fantastic.
The second wolf goes over to Corin and is like, Corin's like, why are we to believe that we would trade one slave master for another?
No one said anything about being a slave.
Well, we must serve you. This is the deal.
Only if we need transport. As long as you don't harm people, you're free to go as frolic, have fun in the woods. But when we need transport...
How would we know?
Well, then maybe I guess you wouldn't leave too far away from us.
You kill Garangai, and Corin and I will help you in whatever way we can.
I look back to everyone else. What do you think?
But why do they want him dead?
He's the one who makes us do this. We don't deserve to be holding these people at bay, kidnapping children. That's not our way.
How does he control you exactly?
If we were to try to escape, I know that he'd hunt us down.
And how did you end up in this situation in the first place?
That's a wonderful question. Let me see if that's answered in here somewhere, dude. You caught me off guard. Give yourself the inspiration for that, because I wasn't expecting to answer that question. Yeah, he just rules with fear. Like he's they're afraid to go against him in any way. He captured us as pups. We've only known his cruel mastery.
Oh.
I think Jordy would know like a smidgen about frost giants and probably know that they're right to be afraid of them. Like probably like just like myth, because probably people don't go around poking frost giants, but like just like myth in the area of frost giants.
Yeah, Jordy, why don't you give me a like a history check? And Kindar, since this is kind of your jam, you can as well.
What if we get them to help us kill the guy?
I was going to ask that next.
Yeah.
Well, Jordy don't know.
Jordy's like,
just know
frost giants are cold.
They're gigantic.
18.
18 Kindar. This is why I have Zune roll on some of these too, so I can give you some information. Yeah, I mean, you know quite a bit about frost giants. As this is, and I love when these rolls go your way, Zune, because this is just like more canon for Kindars. Like you know, and everything about this stuff. Like any question you have about one of these dudes, you know. Yeah, you know that frost giants obviously in the hierarchy of giants, sort of nearer the top. Um, you know that they are cruel masters, which gels with what they said. You know that um, uh, they frost giants are respected for their brute strength above all else, and their place in power is based on physical might. So you know quite a bit about these dudes. Nasty. You don't want to fight them. That's what you know most about them. You don't want to come across them. And you can understand maybe why the wolves would be terrified of them.
Are they typically more like intelligent or?
Yeah, like so we could go into giant like hierarchy of giants a little bit, which in our other campaign, Vlor, or our newest campaign after Phandelver, Vlor, we're really gonna get into once we start Storm King's Thunder. But there is a hierarchy of giants, and generally the higher you get on that hierarchy, the more intelligent they are. Frost giants are about the halfway point of that hierarchy, so definitely like smarter than hill giants, mountain giants, stone giants. Not quite as not quite fire giants, fog giants, cloud giants. Not quite up there, but so about like halfway in intelligence, and the same goes for sort of like brute strength.
Good to know.
So we don't want to fight that thing. At least not just the four of us.
No. Maybe we can get some people that we know back in one of the towns that we have made so many friends.
Kinder would like to ask the. Do you know why he captured the children, and why he's doing the siege?
He holds them for ransom, a king's ransom, and gold and food.
Can you tell us anything about where he is and what we could expect when we get there?
Yes, he stays in a large ice lodge. Day's walk from here.
Does he ever leave?
Not often. He has a giant mammoth pet that he sometimes rides across the tundra.
Do you know if he'll be going anywhere anytime soon?
He's probably sitting on his throne right now.
If you guys, if you guys don't return, would he go looking for you?
Almost certainly. When? I don't know.
What are you thinking, Kindar?
I'm thinking maybe if they become fashionably late to getting home, that we might be able to have an opportunity to have him leave, and then us go in, and maybe children will be there, and we can get them without having to face him.
Well, it sounds like no matter what, he'll just go back and hurt more people if he doesn't get killed.
Also, wouldn't free the wolves.
Mm-hmm. Can we ask I want to ask the wolves if they're willing to help us kill him.
We could take you to the lodge, and we can point you inside, but we dare not face him. We would be killed.
Oh. So what makes you think that we can do it?
You seem willing to try. Your party seems powerful.
Yeah, but now I have like my husband to take care of, and it just seems
Looks
like
like
a
a tasty
lot.
snack.
Hey.
I feel like they're going to try and lead us into a trap. Maybe there's more wolves hiding there.
Hmm.
But
If it is a giant, and we can go in and talk to the people, and the wolves are actually being held hostage, we can just like the whole town could just like form a militia. And since the wolves will be missing, he'll come out and look for the wolves, and that might be our best shot. Because the town's screwed if the giant's still alive, if there's a giant.
I like that plan.
Versus the wolves kind of just like pick people off individually, so it's made people afraid to go out alone. But the town, like as a whole, might fight because I assume people at Icewind Dale are pretty like hardy, aggressive people. If there's like a chance they could like just beat their problems down, they would try. Or it's like either that or they just sit there and get sieged by a giant. That's the only way I see killing a giant.
do we really want to risk that many lives?
They're already at risk. Versus us going in there just throwing bodies at it. If there's a giant, we still don't know how truthful these wolves are. I would like to think the people would fight, but it is a good point that they might not even fight. And taking down a giant alone would be a monumental task. But on top of a mammoth, I don't foresee how we'd be able to handle that. We barely got away with 2 half giants and a bear.
2 half giants and a bear walk into a game.
What were they tricking us for in the first place? Did we ever ask them that? Why were they trying to trick us in the first place?
Yeah, we did ask that.
Why were you trying to trick us in the first place?
We did not want to fight you. We want to convince you. All I was trying to do was have a parlay. Drunkus, thank you so much for the 33 months, dude. Still ahead of Boom. Still ahead. Drunkus, roll a d4 in the Discord to give it to one of our players. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that.
Can I do an insight on
Yes.
that? Because yeah, that doesn't seem like a good way of doing a parlay. That's a 16.
She's lying.
Dickhead wolves. Make me think about fighting a giant. Trying to plan out like
exactly
battle.
what she's lying about is hard to ascertain, though, Gusto. It's like, are they so afraid of... Oh, 2 to Gusto. Thank you so much, Drunkus. Make sure to write that down.
Thank you.
Oh, so like whether they're lying about the giant or lying about like being a slave to the giant versus just like
Yeah, like, are they just trying to do anything to try to get you to kill the giant? Are they lying about the giant? There's a ruse for sure, but you're not sure what part of the story is untrue. It's just there's some untruth here.
I'd like to say to them, now that you've told us that, how about we try telling the truth?
And so the other wolf, whose name is Kanan, I don't think I maybe didn't tell you his name. He's the male, and he bares his fangs, and it's like, the truth is that giant has 2 children at his lodge. If you want to save him, you'll save him. If not, I guess there'll be dinner for the evening. And they turn and start to walk away.
Seems more like a
So they're
snack
not being
or
held for
a-
ransom.
Hmm.
I think that the snow around Gusto would be swirling a little bit.
Okay.
Just that he is an air ganassi, and the winds tend to flow in his favor, so you can tell that he's not very happy.
And then the wolves are disappear from sight.
They just walked away.
Yeah.
That's sketch.
So did we want to go and speak to the villagers before we go and kill this giant?
Yeah. What if Clyde?
Clyde's like kind of scared. He was like hiding behind you. He's like
Yeah.
gripping onto your neck.
I kind of liked Jordy's plan about forming a little militia. Maybe I can keep Clyde's city.
We can go and talk to the speaker, let him know about the ice giant, ask him if there's any warriors that may be willing to join us at the risk of their own lives.
I think that's our best bet because I don't foresee us battling a giant. We may even have trouble just battling the wolves, just the four of us, considering their intelligence.
Yeah.
But if they're not strong enough to kill this giant,
They might
then
not actually want to kill a giant.
true.
Maybe if we go to the city and just talk to the people, maybe they have just more info that we don't.
That's a good point.
So, through the hole.
To the hole. All right, guys. After about 6 sessions of the intention to come to Dugan's Hole, you finally make it to the outskirts of the hole.
What if we just didn't go to Dugan's Hole and we went to the ice giant and said, okay, we're done, and not even make it to Dugan's Hole?
You just never go to Dugan's Hole. All right, let's talk a little bit about Dugan's Hole.
Let's.
Dugan's Hole is the smallest and most insular of the 10 towns. Its residents are generally, Jordy, you would know, not fond of visitors. And I'm sure that everybody, wherever they are, has that town that's nearby where all the hicks live and the hillbillies live.
Oh, it's Icedale Trailer Park.
Is that where you are, Jackson? That's what it's called. Where I'm from in New York, that place is called Towanda. Everybody in Towanda. Down here in Florida, I would say that's probably Arcadia. Would you say that, Arcadia? You guys have one in out there in Colorado where all the hicks and hillbillies live?
I might be in or adjacent to said area. Now that I think about it.
How about it, Zoom? Any place nearby where you're like, oh, that's where all the hillbillies live?
Pueblo.
We do have an actual trailer park
it's
nearby.
kind of out there, but
So I bring that up because that is Dugan's Hole to 10 towns. This is where all the hicks and hillbillies live. The inbreeding in this town has caused the population to dwindle in recent years. It also given rise to often seen physical deformities, including but not limited to small, misshapen ears and slightly pointy teeth. The town is a small cluster of dwellings perched on the edge of Redwaters that is too small to support any industry, not even scrimshaw. Ice has buckled the shorter of its 2 piers, rendering the docks unsafe. The longer pier has 2 icebound keelboats tethered to it, though they're immobile because of Arl's winter. The frozen surface of the lake for hundreds of yards around them. Local fishers have hauled their small boats onto the shore and resorted to cutting holes in the ice to catch knucklehead trout, which they depend on for survival. Visitors to Dugansol are often struck by the eeriness of dark humanoid shapes out on the ice, remaining silent and still as the winds howl around them. Welcome to Dugansol, you guys.
Icewind
Wow.
Alabama.
Hey! It is definitely the whole.
Wafflecombe says that's every
yes.
town in Kentucky. Kindar, roll a perception check.
So we're going to find a lot of brothers in here.
This is purely for Kindar. Off in the distance, you hear a banjo. That roll was only so I could make that joke. That's it.
I respect it.
I've got a passive perception of 13. Do I also hear them playing the jug?
You hear their response to that.
Oh no, they're going to have a banjo battle.
We should get out of here. It's not safe.
So if you want to talk to the speaker, it's pretty clear that this is the kind of main speaker's house here.
I think we should.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to gain much from talking from the citizens.
And you can
If they
see
come
those
up.
eerie shapes out in the ice, like people fishing out on the, they carved holes in the ice and they're out there fishing. So you head to the speaker's house. Speaker Edgra Dermot. She's actually sitting out in front on the front porch of her house in a rocking chair as you approach.
With a shotgun?
She has a shotgun and she's chewing like a hay. She's chewing on a piece of hay.
There's a jug of moonshine beside her, I'm sure.
They can't afford tobacco. Just do hay.
No, Jackson, it's like one of those long, pieces of hay in the mouth. Like,
Okay.
come on, dude.
I can't wait for the accent. Let's hear it, Fish.
So she's like, y'all ain't from around these parts. How'd you make it past the wolves? Y'all got any food?
Can you not afford food?
Afford it. We can't get it in. Ain't nobody coming down here to trade with us because of the wolves. We can't hardly get out. Lee Truck Guy, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the fish tank.
Truck guy, oh yeah.
I have to say that's not a bad accent.
Well, thank y'all.
We met the wolves on the road.
Got two of our own. Two little kids.
Oh. Yeah, we heard about that.
Why did they take them from you?
Holding them for a ransom. They want more food and money than we got in the whole dang town.
Hmm.
And the reason you don't have food or money in the town is because of the wolves.
A little bit of a catch-22 there, don't you think? Also, this eternal winter ain't helping matters. Used to be you could get out on Redwaters, catch some of them knuckleheads. We ain't the richest town, but we got it. We scraping to survive.
And what do you sacrifice?
Let's just say it gets real cold here on the new moon.
Oh, that
That's when
explains a
the
few
inbreeding
things. That explains a few things.
That's why they all look like this.
You see somebody passing by in the background that looks exactly like Edgar Dermu.
Well, the wolves also passed on a bit of unsavory news. Apparently, there is an ice giant not too far from here.
We heard rumors. We ain't never seen the giant, just the wolves.
Have you seen a mammoth?
A mammoth. Can't say I have.
Supposedly the giant also had a mammoth. But the wolves probably weren't telling the full truth. That's why we ask.
Ain't never not seen no mammoth.
So, Jory takes a second, tries to deal with the double negatives. So, okay, you haven't. Okay.
So, I think we will try to deal with these wolves and this ice giant. But I guess what we were really wanting to know is if you'd be willing to provide any support.
I'll come fight with you. I mean, I ain't much of a fighter, but I'll fight with you. And her, yeah, she's fairly strong.
Zarya from Overwatch. When she stands up, she's just 7 feet tall.
She's fairly strong. You can, and in that moment, actually, Jordy, she does stand up, and you can see that she's wearing some splint armor.
Ooh.
She's like, I'm the strongest fighter in town. I can muster up a few others, come a couple of my cousins, and my husband cousin. They ain't quite as strong as I am. I hate to throw them to the wolves, as it were.
Oh my. But power in numbers, though, right?
So I'm trying to do my best to tell you about their stat block without telling you about their stat block. So you can she'll join you. She is this is going to mean nothing to some of you. She's a CR3 creature, so she's no slouch. She has a 17 AC and 58 hit points. And she does have a long sword, which she can wield fairly effectively. She can muster up to 6 townsfolk to come with, six of her cousins. They are decidedly less strong. They
Maybe
have
we can...
an AC of 12 and only 11 hit points.
I guess for a reference, we're basically a CR2.
Right.
As a group.
Right.
So she is probably stronger than we are.
Yes. She's stronger than you are, and the other guys together might be able to, like, Jordy could probably kill all 6 of them in a fight.
Maybe there's some other strong people in the town who aren't just her husband cousins that we could rally up.
Just to save you the time of doing that, this is what you could get.
She knows everybody in the town.
Right. She's related to everybody in the town.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's your option. Those are your options as far as that goes. Not nothing.
No, it's more than I thought.
Yeah. Can I ask her if there's any shops in town? Just curious. I know they have issues trading, but like any posts or anything?
Girly, if we had anything to sell, we'd probably eaten it by now. About the only thing we got of interest here in Dugan's Hold is the The 20 stones. I can show you the 20 stones.
20
That sounds
steps.
interesting.
Yeah, I'd love to see the 20.
All right, y'all follow me. I'll show you the 20 stones.
19 stones, you said.
As
Cleo puts one in her bag.
Yeah.
All those massive ones just on there.
It's a 2-ton stone.
Stonehenge stone. That's
She
how
would
they
take
got
it.
Stonehenge. They use staters.
Oh, that's the artwork that we need. Is just a stone in Cleo's backpack, like fucking a half-ton rock. Oh, 19 stones, you said. Very interesting.
18. Wow.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I still don't have. I'm still cursed. I can't do any. Just a heads up, so I can't really do any of my spells or anything in battle of this fight. Ice giant.
Do cantrips.
Okay,
I only say that because Vicious Mockery could save us.
I'm just gonna shit talk him to death.
I believe that she can't use any of her magic.
Nope, Jordy got it right.
She can use cantrips?
Yes. Because you, well, I won't. I'm not going to reveal it yet.
Okay.
I think she tried to use Mage Hand first to test it.
I remember.
And she tried to use Identify, I think.
Correct.
Something to figure out like what she had in her bag, and didn't work.
First thing I tried to do.
You haven't. You know that it's a curse, but you haven't figured out the mechanic yet. Vor.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
We need to level up so that I can get rid of this curse.
Okay.
Okay, so y'all want to see the stones? Come on, check out the stones. And so you see Mick
stone.
Jagger's down there and Keith Richards.
Oh, they're rolling.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I'll be here all week. The only truly interesting feature in Dugan's Hole is this ring of megaliths, known as the 20 Stones of Thrune. Standing at the southern edge of town, 19 of these crudely fashioned granite menhirs, I don't know what that word means. I'm going to say that's a fancy word for stones. Are arranged in a rough triangle with a single stone at the formation's center. No one knows who built the structure or why. The townsfolk maintain that the stones were there when the town's founder, a Chondathan named Dugan Dubrace, first happened upon the fishing spot. Scholars have tried to research the origin of the structure's name, but all they have found are allusions to a creature named Thrune in the oldest legends of the northern folk. Some speculate that Thrune was a god, while others believe it's a destructive elemental spirit bound to this location by ancient druidic magic.
I'm just eyeing that center stone.
Which
it's in the middle.
Weighs like 15 tons.
Do the stones have markings on them?
No, but they are not like they are worked stone. It's shaped stone.
And would I have heard anything about this Thrune in my religious learnings?
You can roll a religion check on it. I wouldn't mind.
That's an 8, so probably not.
No, you don't know. Is it a god? Is it a creature? A man? You have no idea.
Kinder asks Edgar why the town is called Dugan's Hole.
Well, this was our founder, Dugan Dubrace. This was his fishing spot, his fishing hole. So we keep the name, Dugan's Hole.
Maybe you should make it something a bit more lively. like Dugan's fishing spot.
Well, we are looking for a new director of marketing for Dugan's Hole.
You know, I'm
I'm
also pretty good with trade as well.
This would be a great place for a trading outpost. I mean, we got basically nothing in town. You deal with them wolves, you deal with that giant, you'd say, and I mean, you'd be the only game in town, mister.
Sounds great. The name's Vlor, by the way.
Vlor. I like the sounds of that. It's got kind of a spark to it, don't you think?
Funny you say that. The trading company is Sparks of Interest. Maybe we'll take care of this ice giant, and then maybe we'll set up a trade route. Get supplies down here and bring the whole back up.
And she kind of points at you like, "Hey, I got you."
Yes. I'll turn to the rest of the group. Are we ready?
All right, but I'm gonna stick near the back, so because I have no spells and I have Clyde.
I guess it's as ready as we can get. Hopefully those wolves were lying about the giant. But something tells me that there's definitely something else up there.
And do we want to bring these other 6 with us?
Yes.
It's our best chance.
Okay.
Before we leave, Kindar kind of wants to as everyone's kind of walking out, Kindar wants to check something.
Sure.
So he kind of reaches into his pocket and just kind of takes something out and takes something out of his pocket and compares it to the stones out there. Does he see any similarities there?
Remind me of. I know you don't want to tell everybody. Remind me on maybe Discord. Zune, what's in your pocket? Because I forgot. I have a vague idea of what it is.
Well, that one thing he left on the desk, so it's not that.
Right, it's not your purple dildo.
I don't remember seeing any rocks when I checked his pockets that one time. I'm kidding.
Right.
With
Wrong pocket.
change.
You take that out of your pocket, and it is glowing here with a stronger blue hue than you have seen before. But you don't see any similarities between the stones and it.
Can I see any of this?
Perception check.
I picture Cleo just kind of not paying attention to what people are saying, but just kind of looking around at stuff.
No, you don't. You don't see that. You see, you do see these ominous figures out on the ice, and that's kind of captured. It's caught your attention because it's so creepy and weird. But you don't see anything going on with Kindar. Cool, Zune. Or you want to?
Yeah. So at that point, Kindar would put it back in his pocket and then turn back to the group and.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely something. There's something there. You know what I mean? That was a good move, I think. Cool thing. Okay. All right, so you guys head at the outskirts of town. You have your dudes. I'm telling you what, I'm gonna do this in a kind of I think a fun way, which is that everybody just roll a straight up D20. Whoever rolls the highest is gonna get to control Edgara, and then everybody else is gonna get to control 2 of the other guys.
5.
Hell, it's going to turn into a full on RTS.
It'll save me from having to control
I got a
tab
9.
things. Oh, okay. Let's see what Jackson's roll is. Jackson is the winner. Jackson, you get to control Edgra. Let me get over to this new
I think that kind
map.
of works because Jordy's going to be like right next to him in the front line.
Hopefully, you'll be able to control her. I've had some issues with this in the past, so I can only hope that this actually works.
So once again, are we gonna have to somebody's pet? His mammoth.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that this campaign is only about killing pets?
Oh my.
Well, I don't know, it's the pet of someone that's like ravaging people, innocent people. A pet that's probably eating innocent people as well. Not sure if what a mammoth eats, but I'm sure if you threw like a corpse in front of it, it would try to eat it.
That's just its animal instinct.
Well,
It's-
my animal instinct is to survive.
Yeah, kill be killed.
Whether it's a pet or a wild animal, if it's going to attack me, I will defend myself.
I didn't try to attack the bear. The bear got up and just came at me.
Okay, how do I do this?
So, how is Cleo doing after her breakdown in the cave?
I think she was just like kind of taken aback a little bit. Like it was just a lot. Like she's not used to like just murdering things. She's used to stealing stuff and then running away and singing for people and having fun. But that was just rough. So I feel like she's just kind of more like trying to recuperate from that. A little sad. She's gonna feel bad if she has to. She doesn't like killing for no reason. Only if it's not in her name.
Okay, I'm going to give you some more information about where we are here in a second, but the first thing I want is Cleo, can you control the two little warrior dudes off to the far right-hand side? Can you move them around on the map?
Let me see.
This is a humongous map, so.
Sorry, it's just having trouble.
And Jordy, can you control this person here? Can you move that around?
Yes.
Oh, that's so good.
This is Jordy now.
Yes.
I have splint armor. Actually, I don't think barbarians can rage if they have heavy armor. So I'm doomed to never have splint armor.
Something we never talked about is if we're gonna kill these wolves that just wanted freedom, or if we're gonna
freedom,
or if we're actually gonna trust them.
Well, Kinder kind of was gonna see if maybe there is a way to do this without killing anybody. Maybe would kind of look over at Edgar a little bit and kind of like ask, would you say that you have an issue with your food and that the lake's frozen over and you've got to get all these, you got to be plowing holes into the ice. Wouldn't having a frost giant around to break the ice help your your fishermen and be able to get into the ice a little bit better, and then you'd be able to help feed the giant without them having to take people ransom anymore.
That's very pragmatic. However, a giant is basically like an evil creature. They're evil.
Okay.
Yeah, probably doesn't get. It might not even understand this. Actually, it might just speak giant.
I'm not super sure, to be honest. I mean, it's not a terrible idea, and you can try anything in D&D. But I want to say, just watch out for the face down here, guys. It's really powerful.
I keep looking at that. Yeah. Guys, the giant's watching us.
Watch out. He's like, hello? Okay. I got everybody controlling. So, in case you can't see, Gusto, these are your guys. Kindar, these are your guys. Cleo, these are your guys. And Jordy is controlling her. And
I feel like Cleo.
Sorry?
I feel like Cleo would be farther back than where she is.
Yeah, please move yourself to wherever you got up here. You walked up here. As you approach, you basically could go out to where you met the wolves, and you pretty easily follow their tracks. It's about a half day's march, and it is late now. It's evening by the time you get out here. Not that it matters a whole lot in the grand scheme of the light situation, but jutting out of the vast tundra is a towering edifice built entirely out of ice. The dome structure is easily 3 times the height and width of any building found in 10 towns. And as you approach, you can see that there's 3 openings here. Bump, bump, bump. And you can also see Kanan and Corin out in front.
Who we are or not.
I'll leave it up to you guys.
Well, I think we should try to talk to the wolves to see if they're actually like going to attack us or if they actually want this giant dead as well.
Yeah.
If we're having any issues with light, I'll cast light on my mace.
Also, I have the lantern somewhere.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
sure how I can use it like in combat. I could try to put it somewhere before combat. But then again, it'd mostly be for everyone else. I just remember that Jordy has dark vision, so he has a. Well, in combat, you shouldn't have too much for this issue. Actually, now that I think about it, since Jordy has dark vision, does anyone else without dark vision want to hold the lantern?
I mean, I do have Clyde, and I can't really fight, so hold it.
I didn't even think about that.
Okay, make sure to add that to your character sheet. It's
Alright.
what's the actual name of the item, Jackson?
I do not remember. I'm pretty sure I just put down lantern somewhere.
The lantern of tracking.
There you go. A lantern of tracking, and it's attuned to elementals.
Is that something that we can change?
I'll get back to you on that. I'm not sure. I don't think so. But it's possible.
I would think like that would be something we talked to Danica about since it was her lantern. She might be able to adjust it.
Yeah. I mean, I think she actually told you that she purchased it in Luskin.
Oh yeah.
Then again, I say a lot of weird shit.
I was just thinking because that would allow us to change it so that it doesn't stay lit all the
Yeah.
time.
She's like, shh, lantern, please.
So being up front with Jordy, we can head up to the wolves and find out what's going on. Where the frost giant's at, what he's doing, what are our options? Does he know we're coming? All questions I'd like to ask.
Brought a small army, I see. You'll need it. But Garangai, he's not inside. We might have tarried too long. He might be out searching for us. I don't know.
Searching for you. You're literally here right now.
When we returned to the lodge, he wasn't here.
How convenient.
Maybe we should go in and wait for him.
An ambush. That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. I'm sure it sounds like something you would do, isn't it?
How dare you?
Come on. If you were us, wouldn't you think the same thing? If you saw 2 other massive animals, the first thing you think is ambush. They're going to ambush us.
We're not ambushing you standing here out in the open.
But we don't know what's in there. And since you clearly think we have some sort of, this would be the best way to get us, is an ambush in there. Not saying you are trying to ambush us, I'm just saying this is why we're being cautious. You are just 2 wolves that happen to be talking that we met in the middle of the frozen tundra. It's not a whole lot of trust built so far.
Daragai is very powerful. You're right to be suspicious, cautious.
And we understand your fear of it. I don't blame you from the little bit I've heard from giants. But if you help us, we'll definitely have a better chance. But if you decide not to, we won't hold it against you, because I'm sure he's probably hurt you. If what you say is true, he's hurt you throughout your entire life. But we would have a better chance if you two helped.
What would you like us to do?
Well, if he's not here and we can set up some kind of ambush, assume you two being able to see in the dark would be very good in an ambush. Maybe if you feel more comfortable attacking the mammoth, then we only have to deal with the giants for a bit.
If he's mounted, we might be able to dismount him from the mammoth. Give you a better chance.
That would be our best bet. I don't think all of us can take on both him and the mammoth at the same time.
We could hide behind his throne, let the wolves alert us when he arrives.
Mm-hmm. Like they just kind of like talk a bit louder than usual. Try to like lure him into like a false sense of confidence. Like, oh, everything's normal. Walks in, and then everyone at the same time, including the wolves.
How often does he sleep?
Evening, I mean, at nighttime. I can't imagine if he's out searching for us, he's going to be gone for much longer.
Does he sleep at his throne, or does he have a bed?
There's a bed.
Ooh.
His quarters are just off of the throne room.
Does Kinder see any signs of like mammoth tracks or giant tracks?
Ooh, give me a survival check.
Uh,
It might be better for us
14.
to do.
Yeah, this place is lousy with mammoth tracks. You see them everywhere. It's pretty obvious. Big, huge imprints in the snow.
It might be better for us to catch him while he's sleeping. Ambush him
stay-
at that time.
Stay posted outside in the meantime, or maybe hide inside somewhere.
Hide inside would probably be good. I don't know what their senses are like, if they could smell us or what.
Well, if
But
we
I
just
think-
trap him and I just leave some mead out, and then maybe he'll just go to the mead and he'll be distracted, and then he'll just sneak it.
Do you happen to have a barrel with you?
Not a barrel, but I do have 2.1 jars.
I think those are more like a thimbleful for us.
Hmm.
So are we gonna set an ambush, or are we gonna wait till he comes back and then attack him then?
I think both are fine. What are your guys' opinions?
Mm. Well, we don't know what's inside. For all we know, he could be in there right now.
Then it wouldn't matter if we went in now or if we waited.
Is there anything you guys don't trust about the wolves at this point?
Oh, I thought we were debating over inside or outside ambush.
Well, if he's already inside, then we'll just be waiting out here.
Yeah, I agree with. I feel like we should go inside and see if he's there, and maybe like we should have some of our extra people keep an extra eye on those wolves or something. I don't know.
Actually, that's a decent idea. So that way, if the wolves decide they don't like us anymore, It's not a complete ambush.
If
We
you
know
think
our-
they can hide good enough, well enough.
I'll hide under his bed. I say we just go in and see what is. Clyde and I are getting cold.
Yeah,
We-
I
we
think
don't-
we should.
We don't want our guys to stay out here and then have him know that we're in there, and by seeing out there with the.
I agree.
If we're gonna be sneaky, so if it's either all of us go in or none of us, if we're gonna ambush.
And there's different entrances, right? 1, 2, 3.
Yes, there's 3 openings here.
So
But
either
Fairy
we
said
could,
she was
like,
wondering how Clyde was doing.
I don't think we should split up. Clyde is doing great. He's just a little.
I say
What-
we go in and see what's going on, and then we make our decision if we want to
Yeah.
hide inside or wait for him outside.
I guess Kinder will ask ask the wolves what do the 3 entrances lead to? Do they lead to different places?
And they say that this is the main entrance that leads to the throne room and to where Garen Guy's bed is.
Ooh.
And then how about the other 2 entrances?
This entrance leads to the like food storage, and then
And
this.
what's behind door number 3?
And behind door number 3 is where the prisoners are being held.
See, I just remembered the kids. So if he's not in there, we should get the kids out first. Get the kids like somewhere safe,
Yeah.
as safe as we can get them, I guess.
Yeah. Even if it's just like around the corner hiding or something.
Mm.
So we do that first?
But yeah, I think since we know where the prisoners are, we should probably check on them first.
Should we all go?
Uh,
Or should
Yeah,
some of us keep watch?
I don't know, because I don't know. We don't know how far in it goes yet. Because if it's not too far in, then it'd just be like a few of us go in, and other people are just at the entrance.
Maybe we could have a couple lookouts who are like, hey, he's coming. There's like,
I can stay at the entrance.
mm,
And then you can shout if you need help.
I just need to keep.
Yeah, considering Cleo is kind of useless, if there's anything that we have to fight right away, maybe she can stay back.
Yeah, I'll stay back with like a couple of the guys, like me and 2 of these random peoples. I mean, if we're just going to get prisoners out and he's not inside ideally, then that should be plenty of people to let everyone go.
Kinder kind of just asked them, like, how deep is this prison? Are they just like right on the other side of the door here, or?
Yeah, this entrance only leads to the cage. It doesn't lead to the rest of the complex.
So yeah, we should all just be able to kind of, as long as you just stand at the entrance, and if we have to go too far, then we'll call to you, make sure that we're within vocal range.
So I'll go like here, and then I'll get my 2 people, and we'll just be like standing.
So you can see her a little bit further in now.
I'm gonna go in with Edgar. I feel like Edgar would want to go in since it's like her people. Like she's responsible for these children, since she's the speaker, and she probably knows them and can like talk to them, calm them down. So I think Jordy would go in with Edgar.
And so as you enter here a little bit further in, Jordy, you see a huge slatted animal cage with a locked gate attached to it by rusty hinges. stands against the western wall of this chamber. Trapped inside the cage are two shivering humans in cold weather clothing. They look fearfully at you. Hello?
Yes, we're here with your town speaker. Edgar, are these the children that were missing?
Boy, howdy, ain't they?
Damn it. Let's work on getting them out.
That's Silja and Finn right there. Silja's a spindly girl with pointy teeth. Snow clings to the end of her long braids. And Finn is a piebald-faced small boy with malformed ears. He's examining the brackets that hold together the slats to try to find a way to break them. His hands are frostbitten and his teeth chatter uncontrollably.
I think Jordy would try to look to see if he could just like brute force break this open.
Okay, Jordy, here's what you can do. You can try to like pull the metal bars apart to try to see if they could slip through. The slats are really like big, but maybe you could bend them enough to let the kids like squeeze through. Alternately, you don't think you could probably break this lock. It's huge, and
Okay.
and it's metal, but I don't know if anybody in the party can or has the ability to pick locks.
I mean, can I? What kind of check is that?
You have to have thieves' tools and you have to be proficient in them.
Kindar has a crowbar.
So you might be able to assist Jordy in bending the metal bars. That if you want to try that, Jackson, that is an athletics check. It's a strength check. You can do so with advantage if you're using Kindar's crowbar.
Yeah, that sounds good. I feel like Jordy would immediately try to like just like brute force his way open.
Yeah, and so you can see that Finn is like trying to mess with the bars, and so you walk over to where he is and try to bend the bars. Roll me an athletics check with advantage. 2 1s incoming. What's the roll?
17 is the highest.
17. Yeah. So, what do you think the scene looks like? How do you imagine he's doing it?
Has anyone seen Split? Because at one point in the movie, Split, James McAvoy is in like an old cage in the bottom of a zoo, and he literally like takes both hands and just like pulls the bars apart. So I feel like he will try to do that, not to the same extent in the movie, but just a little bit. He would try to like every muscle like being used like from his pecs all the way to his shoulders, like every muscle being like strained as he tries to like rip this open to save these kids.
You can see that like neck vein popping on his neck. Yeah, and so you successfully bend the bars, and Silja and Finn both escape from the cage. Well done.
Hansel and Gretel?
They're like, yeah, we followed Candy into the forest.
Oh, great.
I'm busting out the accents today, boy.
I love it. I love it.
I hope this doesn't end like one of the German tales.
I know.
Don't they burn the witch alive?
We can send the kids back with 2 of the men.
I think we need all the
That's what I was thinking.
That's losing 2 people that we needed to fight.
Let's send them back with the wolves.
That'd be a real test, wouldn't it?
I'll be honest with you.
Why can't they just hang out here, but like outside of the gate, and then when we're ready to leave, they can run out? Seems like this is a pretty like hidden area.
I'll be honest with you. I could probably knock these 2 guys out with 1 blow.
Yeah, but at least that's 1 blow that we're not taking.
I guess the chances are like really low, but what if they like run into the giant on the way back?
Yeah, that too. What if they like look how little hidden this little nook is? At least they're not in a cage. Like they could get out, and it doesn't lead to anywhere else.
First thing they might do when they get back is check on this cage, though, and then they'll know that it's been.
I'll also say that
true.
is the thought to send these two back to Dugan's Hole like solo, because these guys are in really rough shape.
No,
Oh yeah, they are frostbitten.
Yeah.
They need someone to help them.
Maybe
At
they
least
should
one.
stay in the cage until we're done. No,
Yes, I
no,
know.
Hey, Jordy,
listen,
get him back in
Good
there.
point.
listen, because if they are not in the cage when the giant comes, if he comes and checks on them first and he's not in the cage and they're not in the cage, then he's probably not going to come inside and rest. But if they're in the cage, then he'll think that everything's okay and come inside. Once he goes inside, they can leave. Or once we deal with the giant, we can take them.
I guess that is true because they can still I made like a big thing like Jordy like pried them open, but assuming he just moved it just a smidge so they could get out. So I assume the giant probably wouldn't notice right away that there's like they could squeeze through it since the bars are so big. So like they could still like get out, but the giant at first glance the giant probably wouldn't notice that there was like they could. He would probably think, oh, if they could get out, they would have gotten out. So I think that's what Floor says is a good idea because like the giant goes in, giant leaves, the kids can leave. Worst case, if things go awry.
So you want
Like,
to get him back in there? Is that the plan?
Yes.
I guess that's a good point. Yeah, because the giant probably, I would think the giant would probably check that, but like the bars are still kind of like pulled open so they can get out. But assuming they're not,
No. Once you let it go, the bars went back in like it was a temporary
oh,
deal.
oh, okay.
I mean, so you could do another athletics check using the crowbar with advantage.
That,
Savage Queen's like,
What if we just brought them with us?
I'll help you put them back in the cage.
that's gotta suck for those kids.
wait,
I'll
we
At
gotta
least
get back in here.
they
I'll
know
hand
that
the
they can.
kids my rations.
At
I've
least
got
they
one
know that
day's
we
worth
can
of
get her out.
rations. Yeah, I've got 1 day's worth of rations. Actually, I've got 2. So I'll give them 1 so that they can at least have something to eat and tell them to hide it.
Okay, you have one of those
And
warming potions.
sadly, I'm out, and also there is an age restriction on those.
Oh,
where is everybody during this? Like, Cleo, are you there at the entrance still? Are you?
yeah, I'm still
Okay.
here.
Yeah, I'm assuming you guys are all just around the cage trying to figure out this. Okay.
Do they have winter clothes?
They do, yeah, but they are,
Okay.
they're cold. Like,
They've just been out there for so long that the
yes,
winter clothes can't really help.
snow
Okay.
is on the edge of this girl's hair, and the boy's hands are pretty badly frostbitten.
Because Jordy has a spare set of clothes, but I guess it's just from being out here for so long.
Yeah, they've
We
been
don't
in
know
this
how long
cage
they've been
for.
here.
I think that it's like 4 or 5 days, maybe more, that they've been out here.
Yeah,
So it's
so-
been quite a while. Okay. Did you say that you're gonna? You have something to get him back in, Gusto? Excuse me, Gusto.
Give them
I'll help.
rations.
I'll give them one of my rations
Okay.
for them to split so that they at least have something to eat. Tell them to hide it, and then I'll help Jordy with the bars.
Okay. He's gonna get advantage on this. That's the best you're gonna get. So if you want to go ahead and roll that athletics check again, Jordy.
Jordy does some stretches real quick.
Yeah.
16?
So, Jordy, as you're bending this bar back into get these kids back in, you actually break the bar off completely. And it makes this like incredibly loud noise. Echoes
I guess
off
it'll
the
build my own
walls.
strength.
Well then, I think that means we are gonna be changing our plans here, guys.
Does someone know mending?
Kindar casts a minor illusion of a bar there.
Jordy's like trying to like put them back together. It's like,
oh god. Oh god. Yeah, it broke up like cleaning your hand.
All right. Well, maybe
Well-
we should get out of here with the kids then, and maybe send them back. If
On
anything
their
goes wrong
own?
with us, then the kids are, the kids are gonna get hurt anyways.
I think they
Yeah.
should either stay in this little area or just come with them.
Well, if that sound was pretty loud, I hope that didn't, attract the giant to come back.
that's my main worry about sending them back is that if they come across the giant on the way back, I don't know how possible that is.
Can't we like hide them like somewhere outside of the cave then, like in something?
We can always bury them in the snow.
But let's do that.
That way we won't have to dig a grave later.
Just up to the
We
neck.
could you could make one of those huts.
Don't I only get 3 uses of that?
I honestly think
It's
that
up to you.
our best bet is to send the
No.
kids back with 2 of the guys.
Oh,
We still got
Sounds-
4 guys, and we've got the other to help us.
And,
I
yeah,
really, it's just stupid. It's just kids. It'll be fine. Why we don't just send them back with 2 full people that like.
Because
Those
some
are
of us care about their
frostbitten.
lives.
Cleo, obviously a big
Sure.
fan of kids.
Just
they've been out here.
saying.
At least worst case scenario, if everything goes awry, at least the children still get to live.
If we send them back with 2 of the people and they see the giant, they can hide, especially in the woods. In the snow, they can the 2 adults can help them get covered up.
2 adults can just like sacrifice themselves to get, and so the kids have a chance to get the rest of the way there.
I don't agree with 2.
I think that's the right way to go.
What if I give you 5 gold? Would you agree
No.
then?
Would you do it for a Scooby snack?
How about 2 Scooby snacks?
I don't have as you have to remember I have no spell slots. I can't fight. Like I am like a useless person, so you're just gonna get rid of 2 people.
that
But
are
basically-
that are even more useless than you.
Okay, so Sunflower, you're saying like just so I understand your argument here, you're saying just like more bodies in the fight, like more people in the fight.
Yeah, it means less likely we are to get hurt.
So I'll tell you what these guys' stat block is. They each have 4 hit points, which means that basically, like, if Jordy hit them with a regular attack, he would cause permadeath.
Jordy can punch them.
Yeah,
and
Jordy
kill
could
them.
punch them to death. Like, I absolutely, I understand your point, which is like, this is going to be a really hard fight no matter what.
Yeah, I do see it because even though it's 4 hit points, that one giant hit could save one of us.
Right, yeah, they could like take a crit
I
from
see
you
it.
know, the giant or whatever.
But
So
I feel like Jordy would be more worried about the children getting back safe, regardless of what happens to them.
Cleo's just being selfish and doesn't want to get hurt.
Well, we're about to get hurt because we just made a very loud noise. This giant's coming back, and we have no plan. We're all trapped in a cave, and Cleo's on the outside. So we are looking pretty here.
Well, why don't we just take the kids and just all leave? We got what we came here for. Why do we need to search any further?
Because we haven't dealt with the problem.
Yeah, this
Well,
is still
we-
going to be an issue. They're still going to be sieged here, and then now they're going to know that we know exactly where they are, and
If we go back, they might try to attack us again when we try to leave, like they've been doing.
these guys are useless anyways, so they might as well just take these kids back. The kids are no use in a fight for us, and all that can happen to them is they'll get hurt, or they'll start screaming and them.
Still don't trust these wolves. Okay, just all this just seems so sketch. Cleo's super sketched out. She doesn't like any of this right now.
I'm gonna
Peter's
tell
gonna start
the
moving
two
out of the
guys
cave.
over here to take the kids and go.
All right, which guys? That means that some of you will lose. Oh, you're both your guys?
Yep.
Okay. And they do. They head off. Make sure to take your ration that you took off of your
Yep. I did.
thing and do that. So they head off, and you see them get off into the distance. When you hear then a rumbling. And then you hear a very loud trumpet. That's my impression of a trumpet. And this is going to be rather startling for you because there was no artwork for this, and so I just changed the artwork to this because it's going to make me laugh. So you see a giant. This is a mammoth. This is not.
That's great.
This
That's
is
great.
This is not a sea turtle. This is a mammoth. There was no artwork for this creature.
I'm just glad
really?
it wasn't an orca.
Oh, I should have done it.
I think I like the sea creature theme though.
Yeah, it's great.
Next
Got
one would
a
be a
theme.
squid.
It's got a theme. Yeah.
So you see this giant mammoth come out, and you guessed it, zoomed. I guess it wasn't super hidden. The fact that the loud noise that you made drew this mammoth out. And the mammoth stares you down, Jordy, as the closest one, and says to you in common, "You are to blame for this. You killed my master!" And he lowers his head and charges. And the first thing we'll do 2 weeks from today is roll for initiative. But for now, thank you guys so much. Have an awesome night, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks.